The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and he missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield floor. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
We have a tight point race at the top of the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series, and just when you thought J.R. Shepard had a wrap on his second straight title, well, not so much. Shepard has seen his struggles after being involved in accidents towards the end of the last couple of races. However, tonight, as they say, it's a new night, and the Outlaws are very fast, or at the very fast, Southern Motorsports Park for Race 8 of the Bootleg Racing League on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing channel. Good evening to you. I'm Chris Scala. Bill Soupzon, the legend himself, is here filling in for Sean Ambrose. Joe Peak, he is, of course, manning the booth as always and keeping me under control, and Dougie Beard on the cameras. Now, Soup, last week, we had a wild race on our hands at 5 Flags. We had multiple drivers leading laps. We had 9 cautions. Tim Shinowski wins his first race in over a season after he led 22 laps and held off a fighting Donnie Moore in a fantastic finish. And tonight we go from that half-mile high bank track to, well, a tenth of a mile smaller, a 4/10 mile high bank track at Southern. Tell us about this fast track.
Yeah, I've done some research here. Not a lot to talk about for this one. It opened in 1993. Southern National is, like you said, a 4/10 of a mile oval with 17-degree bank turns, and has earned a reputation as one of the premier short tracks in the Carolinas. You know, its signature event is a 200-lap late model race that is dubbed the Thanksgiving Classic. It closed in 2008, but reopened about 4 years later. Now, there is an interesting story associated with this track, and I'm not really sure of its validity, but with the current standards of journalism in America, I feel pretty comfortable reporting it now. So the story goes like this. Soon after the track opened, it was the venue for a small traveling circus. Now, while the carnies were setting up the tents in the infield, the track owner permitted a local driver to run some practice laps. The roar of the engine so frightened the circus's prize attraction, Honey the Dancing Bear, that she broke free of her chains and ran over to confront a pit crew member who was just standing by the side of the track eating a hot dog. In an attempt to appease the bear, the pit crewman offered Honey his hot dog, and with a great giant paw, she swatted it away in anger and then proceeded to maul the poor guy. Now, authorities intervened. This is where it gets kind of sad, and unfortunately, Honey was shot and killed, but the pit crewman survived. The creepy part of the story is that whenever a fan drops a hot dog, which is said to happen with an alarming regularity here at the track, the crowd will all gasp because it is thought that the ghost of Honey the Dancing Bear still haunts the track, still swatting away hot dogs out of the hands of patrons from the great beyond. But the best way to get an idea of what this track is like is to go around in the GSRC SK Modified for a few laps.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik and this is Southern National Motorsports Park in the GSRC SK Modified. Without further ado, let's show you how you get around this joint. Hot lap, looking to find the bottom right here. No other place to run. Hook that bottom right off of turn 2, swing it right out here to the fence, and then back down into turn 3. This track is a nice little short track, doesn't give you a whole lot of time to think. You just kind of have to drive this place on instinct. But if you do make a mistake, there is a lot of banking, as you can see right up there, that will catch you in case you have a mistake, unless that's off the bumper of the competitor around you. Then that wall will be waiting for you up there. But turns 3 and 4, find it right there underneath the start-finish line, back into turn 1. It's a very, very rhythm-based track. Once you get a good rhythm around here, you're fairly unstoppable, even to the point that I set my personal best time here on the 4th lap on the track. Really, as you're going to watch these guys go, this track is so good for racing. I mean, especially if you're up there on that second groove, you might be able to get a good run off of the corner and try to pinch them down, whoever you're racing against, off of the corners. Southern National Motorsports Park is bound to put on a good show for these SK Modifieds as the race progresses on. But without further ado, I'm Brian Yazik. This is the GSRC SK Modified. Enjoy the show.
Okay, that's a lap around Southern Motorsports Park. Chris is with a driver who finished second last week. Now I'm reading the script here. Is it really Tim Shinowski? Is that who we have? Nope. It's Donnie Moore. There we go.
Yeah, Donnie Moore finished second to Tim Shinowski. Shinowski won the race, but in the end it was Donnie Moore who finished second. There we go. Donnie joins us here, the ASPCA Irwin Tools car. Donnie, very fast track here. And, of course, that losing streak. That's something we've talked about. And you're the only one that remembers that number, which is at...
Honestly, I stopped counting. So
oh, well, that's good.
30-something.
Can we get that streak over with tonight?
Well, JR's here, you know.
Not true, but still.
And I've been following him all night, so I don't know. I'm sorry, unless he has the bad luck he had last week, which I don't wish that upon him. Maybe I might have a chance, but I don't wish that upon him.
We'll talk about the track itself. Very fast, just a smaller version of Five Flags we were at last week. Are we seeing the same kind of looseness you had last week?
Very loose. I think if you try to go in there a little too hot with older tires, you're gonna spin it. We did in the last 2 races.
And matter of fact, you've come back with top 5s in both of those races the last couple of weeks. So that momentum looks like it's carrying forward the 26 car. Now, the bottom line is usually the fastest around here. With the looseness, the tire wear, can that high line come to play?
Well, I haven't seen it yet tonight in the last 2 races, so it would be nice if it does.
Well, and we hope to see you get up there in the front. We'd love to see you in Victory Lane, and we'd love to have you up here with us again, coming up here a little over an hour from now, Donnie. But we appreciate your time, and we wish you nothing but the best, and we're going to snap that streak, buddy.
I appreciate it very much, Chris.
Absolutely. Donnie Moore joining us this evening in the Irwin ASPCA SK Modified. And, of course, that interview brought to you by Virtual Grip Network. It's a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blancpain GT Series and NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. Soup, my man. The circus is in town here, and the point standings for the circus has been a pretty good one. We've seen a pretty good fight, and JR Shepherd's not running away with this one, bud.
No, well, we just talked to Donnie Moore, and you can see right there that he had a good week last week as he moves himself up into second place, getting around Matt LaVenture. So those 2 guys hanging in there. And, of course, 4th position, it's the 4th and 5th. It's the Shinosky brothers sitting back there, 19 out and 26 out. But, you know, if you've been following this series for a while, it all takes place behind J.R. Shepherd. He's got 84 points, but only 12 up. And find a little bit of misfortune here, and we can see if these guys can start to run them down. Let's go ahead while we have a second. We go ahead and look at some of the past winners here at Southern National. Now, they didn't race here in the first 5 or 6 seasons. It only came in since 2016. The only active drivers that have wins here, Brian Neff's not racing with us anymore, and neither is Ryan Edwards-Kiss. But Matt LaVenture and, of course, J.R. Shepherd is the defending champion, winning last season. So that's something to look at. Let's go ahead. We've talked about the point standing. We talked about the past winners. Why don't we take a second and actually talk about the Race Steed Hills, what's going on here. Okay, it is a car that I've actually been here. As I've raced in this series for a few races, I ran around the back, watched the fast guys. I saw how it was done, and that's the SK Modified. One of the reasons I like the series, it has nice fixed setup, so everyone racing the same thing today. Here's the important part, is the grid is inverted. They're practicing right now, but it's inverted based on the top 10 finishers at the last race, which was at 5 Flags. 100 laps today, that's 40 miles when you do the math. There is one fast repair, but if you bring it in, you can't take tires, so you have to save the rubber. Fuel's at 100%. There is no incident cap. Now, very important, we have full course yellows, and if there is a restart, it's a double file restart, so you want to keep an eye on your odd and even here. Like we were talking about, the inside line is the place to be. If that yellow falls, hopefully you're running 1st, 3rd, 5th, 7th, or 9th. There is a lucky dog. The weather is dynamic, and we take a look at that. Usually not that big of an issue here on short tracks in the evening. That's a nice, cool southern night here, 74 degrees Fahrenheit, and of course 74 degrees on the track as well. And the winds, a little bit of a wind, but that's not going to play too much a factor for these cars. So there you have it. There are no penalties that we know of from the last race, so it should be a good event here as we about ready to close up one more season here in the Bootleg Racing League.
Yeah, got about 4 races left, Soup, and the only penalty that was announced this week was for Phil Temples, who's not here tonight for some incidents that involved him getting back on the track while the caution was out type of thing. So, but he's not here. So, with that said, there's something we do here, Soup. We started this a few weeks ago, and what I do is I come up with a couple keys, and I share them with you and get your opinion about it. So, some keys for tonight. the bottom line is that the fastest around here.
Well, isn't that's you can kind of cut and paste that key probably for most of these short tracks that we cover. That seems to be the case. We'll see how it plays out, especially with the inverted grid. Sometimes you don't always have the fastest guys up front.
So another factor came into play last week at Five Flags. We saw plenty of incidents happen going into the corner because of just the high bank and the looseness of this car. We're going to say see the same, easy for me to say, issue tonight?
Yeah, well, that's going to play into my pick here a little bit later, because when you're talking loose, there's only one driver that I care about, and that is Matt Hoos, because Hoos, when he's loose, is very fast. So keep an eye on him. We'll see where he starts on the grid.
Fair enough. And the last but not least key here, can JR rebound? He's had 2 straight, we'll call it bad races. He was involved in a late race incident last week, finished 6th. Can he get back to victory lane tonight and kind of put that stamp on that title?
I've done enough of these series that I've watched JR. I've seen him crashed out in the first 3 or 4 laps, go all the way back to the back. By the time the race is over, there he is right up front again. I've seen him work through the field a couple times. So, yeah, it would not surprise me. Rebound is, I thought that would be what, RB. Actually, his initials are JR. So that doesn't make any sense at all. But, yeah, rebounding is his middle name. There it is. That's it. It's Joshua Rebound Shepard. I knew there was an R in there somewhere.
JR is probably going to he just scraped the wire. He must have heard you. Anyway, so if we get ready for some racing coming up in about 3 minutes or so, and when Sean Ambrose normally joins us, I throw him on the spot and make him make a pick, and usually his picks don't do well.
Oh no, I'm in. I didn't realize there was actually. Is there a point spread on this? Because that would change everything. But just betting the money line here. I think your best value, I talked about it before, that is Matt Hoos. I like him here. He's very fast in practice, second fastest behind J.R. Shepard. It'll all depend where he grids up here on from the Five Flags result, but look for him to have a good showing.
Well, I think about this now. This is race number 9. Sean has done 7. He missed last week and misses tonight. I think if you get a top 5 finish, you'll probably pass him in points from his picks. That's how good he's been.
You know, there are some names I'm not familiar with here. Looking third in the practice time is John Hearn. Is that
Hain? Yeah, I'm still learning it myself. But no, John's third start for him now. He just started up about 3 weeks ago. You got him. You got Ryan Detzler from Indiana. He's a newcomer there in that number 2 also.
And Kurt Smith in there, another name that I'm not familiar with. I love this series. It's a very friendly series. These guys are very hard racers, very intense. But it's a no-nonsense series. If you cause trouble, you're not going to be around here very long.
And you know, another thing I always bring this up is the split of times in the practice sessions. Now, tonight, we're seeing a little bit of a wider spread, but I'm going to look more mid-pack, okay? Because you got J.R. Shepard, 13.3 is the fastest. Second place, you got Hoos, who's about 4 100ths off. Then you got a little bit of a gap down to John Hine. And then look at 4th, John Holcomb, 0.223 back. Detzler, 230. Loomis, 230. 236, 238, all the way down to 9th place, Kurt Smith in that split.
Yeah, and that's the genius of Lowell Jewell and his inverted grid. If he didn't have this and it was just a qualifying thing, we would be seeing wire to wire every week from the top guys. Actually, one guy, J.R. Shepard. But what this does, what the rules that he does, where this is inverted, each week plays off the next one. It's like a chapter in a book that leaves a cliffhanger. How is it going to play out? And that's what keeps it really interesting, because it's not grid up by fast times. It's grid up by how they finished last time out. It makes it very interesting. Keeps the racing good. Sponsors love that.
Oh, we all love it. As a matter of fact, those who love short track Saturday night racing and that kind of thing,
right.
This is exactly what we love. And the real big drama is when you get somebody who, say like a Donnie Moore or maybe even a J.R. Shepard who gets into a wreck at the end and finishes 11th and is outside the inversion.
And there's a race to get to what I call the Hamilton spot, to get that 10th spot there. With only 11 cars in the field here tonight, that should be a pretty easy get.
It's pretty bad I had to ask this week who was on the 10. Please don't be offended by that.
Well, it depends. We're racing in America. I guess if we were racing in Canada, it'd be probably the Queen.
Somebody might know that answer. Since Super left it out there. Okay, let's go to chat. Who knows who's on the 10 in Canada, if there is a 10? Let me know. Anyways, we're about to grid here in about 3 seconds or so as you look at Brian Barden, the New York driver there in the 16th. Unfortunately, the slowest car out there, but if there's a positive to the whole thing, there's 11 cars here. So a really small grid tonight, a lot of short track racing going on locally, not to mention you got an all-star race tonight in NASCAR and just so many different things going on. But let's take a look at the starting lineup, which should grid here. I'm going to stall for about 3.5 seconds. Chip Dickert's going to be on the pole in the 04 there. Alongside him, going to be John Holcomb.
Second row is going to be made up of J.R. Shepard. Boy, he's going to be tough to fend off there. Ryan Dretzler behind him in 4th position.
And David Loomis alongside Donnie Moore there, starting in the 6th position.
Man, I made my pick, and I'm not seeing him on the grid here. Brian Barden and Lowell Jewell going to make up the next row.
John Hine, and there's Matt Hoos. He's going to start 10th out of 11. And Kurt Smith going to round out the grid there in the 11th position. Really small field, Soup.
Maybe I got some odds there for Hoos. I hope everyone has their drinks and their chips here, because with only 11 drivers in here, this thing could be a green run here all the way through. This could be over pretty fast.
Yeah, see, 13-second laps, so you're looking at about 4 laps in a minute, 100 laps. We can be done in 25 minutes, literally, if we do the math. Carry the 1, okay? And Joe, be proud. I finally did math right. I got to write that down now. Anyways, 2 laps, we'll get under caution here, and then we'll get the green flag as they roll out this track. I like to call Soup this track a mini Bristol. And I say old school Bristol because it's like you got to run right on that bottom, tight corners, and it's very fast.
Yeah, now what's interesting is Shepard starting inside. That's a good news for him, but he's back behind Dickert, so that puts a little pressure on the pole sitter to get going.
Yeah, Chip just needs to look ahead. He doesn't want to look in his mirror at all. If he does that, then he might not be in a good spot. And sometimes some of those kind of wrecks on the track happen because you're looking in the mirror more than you're looking out the windshield.
We'll see if Holcomb can drop down in there from the outside of row 1 inside of Shepard.
All right, here we go. 100 laps, 40 miles. And another victory to be crowned tonight here at Southern Motorsports Park. It's race 9 of the Outlaws Green. And somebody's off the pace.
Yeah, sitting way at the back, just kind of staying out of trouble.
Brian
Barden. Yeah, but everything looks good up there. And sure enough, the second place driver was able to duck down in there. But now J.R. Shepard's got back up to second.
Yeah, Shepard going to get past Holcomb for position. Here comes David Loomis there. One car had a push up there on the outside. I think that's Lowell Jewell in the 5. No, it's Ryan Detzler. A lot of black cars out here apparently. But he's going to be okay. It looks like everybody's single file down to turn 1 of first battle. Kurt Smith underneath Detzler.
And sticking in 9th right now, trying to jump in front of Jewell.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers, I think, just trying to bide their time and log laps here and get to the finishes. For the lead, Shepard up on the outside almost of the 04. He is putting all kinds of pressure on Dickert, who's kind of blocking here. He's like David versus Goliath.
Absolutely. Dickert took a tight line into 3. He's going to do it again. He's going to make Shepard do it on the top.
Which isn't a bad strategy. If you're going to pass me and you want to move me, you can do that, but otherwise, take me high. Shepard, you got a good run there a little bit.
Yeah, Dickert has to be careful. That car starting to move up now. Maybe as the tires start to warm up a bit, he's having trouble keeping it down.
Yeah, he's got to keep that corner backed up is what he's got to do there as he pushes up again. Oh, a couple cars climbing the wall there. Holcomb and Loomis there, and here comes Shepard underneath for the lead. He got the run there. Shuts the door. Oh, for the first time in early. No Silvio.
I don't like this now for Dickert. I think he's in trouble. The question is, can he hold on to second?
He should be able to fill the gap. There he is. Shepard to the lead, lap number 8. That was quick.
Now you got to think that David Loomis back there and John Holcomb might not be quite so patient, as they want to make sure that Shepard doesn't drive away with this one.
Well, the guy in the move so far here, let's look back at the 6th position. There's your pick. Matt Hoos to the inside of Donnie Moore, going to take the 6th position away, who started back in the 10th position, so he's already halfway through the pack.
He's going to need some timely yellows and maybe get lucky to be in the odd position. See if he can pick up
trouble
that
Dickert. Nails the inside wall.
Hits the little barrels there that protect the car from getting stuck. I don't think we're going to go yellow, though.
No, I think he kept the car, and the car is actually pretty clean for knocking those barrels out. He did what I call parked it. He got loose on entry there, and Holcomb does a good job checking up for the most part. And the worst of the damage goes to the yellow cone that got knocked about a football field away.
That's the worst case scenario for Dickert. He was running up there in second. Now he's struggling. His car's damaged. He's running in 11th. Probably not going to be able to get to the Hamilton spot. That'll give us something to watch there as Brian Barton now has somebody to defend off.
And Donnie Moore back underneath Hoos here. So, oh, they make contact. That's a hip check. And who's going to hold on to the position there is Shepard not really stretching it out. It's only about 7/10 on Holcomb. David Loomis looking to put pressure on, and there's John Hine there in the 75. Doing a great job in that Menards car.
Well, the leaders really don't like to stretch it out. They like to mind the gap. There's really no point to running, using up your tires, getting a half lap lead, and then having it all gobbled up by a yellow flag. So you'll just stay out there, kind of mind that gap back to Holcomb. Right now, it's about 7/10 of a second.
Well, as you say that, I just watched Kurt Smith about put it in the infield. He was able to save it and move on. That number 6 car running in the 7th position, getting passed by Detzler right now for that spot.
Smith drops back to 8. Lowell Jewell back there in the number 5, way off the pace today.
And Lowell, unfortunately, not 100%, we'll say tonight. He's feeling a little under the weather, so he's just out there logging laps tonight. And who knows, maybe he's thinking, you know what, I'm not going to be fast, but I'll sit right here in 9th, start 2nd next week, or 2 weeks from now in South Boston. We do have next week off, by the way.
Bootleg Series, the Lawrence Towing Series races almost every week, but they do take off Memorial Day. Thanks, guys, for that.
Yeah, it's obviously a salute to the veterans who, well, that's what Memorial Day is all about, saluting the veterans and things like that. And yeah, I guess you could say it's kind of the official kickoff of summer in most places, as most of the apartments complexes open up their swimming pools. You start grilling if you haven't already. It's just pretty much a kickoff of summer, even though summer's still not till like mid-June.
Salute the veterans, fire up the barbecue, and watch some motorsports, because that's a good motorsports weekend. Look at this battle going on for a 4th position now. This is Hoos trying to get up here on that number 75 machine.
Oh, and who's out on the bottom? Kurt Smith coming to pit road. Unscheduled pit stop as Hoos goes inside of Pine. That sounds like a law firm.
Smith was running in the Hamilton spot, but he's going to lose that one now, so that's going to be good news for Chip Dickert. Remember, he was up front, had that issue. Only
Soup, you got your hot dog
on the track.
Soup, you're holding your hot dog with 2 hands, right? We don't need anything getting dropped.
I do. I don't think honey can get to me here where I am. I'm feeling good.
Okay, 10-4. Just want to make sure. Oh, Loomis scraping the wall up there just a little bit as he tries to get to Holcomb. Kurt Smith coming off pit road. Not sure what happened to the 6, if he had some damage from a wall shot that we missed or something. But yeah, he's going to be 11th right now, 3 laps down. Dickert is in the Hamilton position, as you call it, 1 lap down.
Boy, and Ryan Dretzler just puts it in the wall. A lot of bumping and banging going on, but here we are a quarter of the way through the race, and what we thought we might have a green flag run, and sure enough, that's the case. Hey, let's look at this battle again. This is a great battle going on here now with Holcomb and Loomis. Loomis coming up in that 91 machine.
Yeah, Loomis, this guy's been having some great runs here recently, and he's looking for another one here. Holcomb's done a great job. The sponsor on the car, Lawrence Towing, as we ride on board with Loomis. You see Loomis, he's got those elbows up and everything. That's a short track Saturday night ride right there.
Holcomb's a veteran. He knows what to do. He's going to keep that car down low.
Loomis drives it down there, and here's the tricky part about this Southern. Oh, whoa! He got loose. And here comes Hoos. And you know what's funny is he got the apron, and that's what I was about to bring up, is this track doesn't have white lines on the bottom, so you're kind of guessing where the apron is.
Loomis did a good job of getting
Hoos
off
the gas
and not turning him around, and now here comes Hoos.
And then right behind him, Donnie Moore going to go for 5th. So a lot of positions being changed here, but Soup, that could be one thing challenging about this track. There's no white line at the bottom, so you really don't know where the apron is.
Yeah, you can see as he got that car down low, the car got twitchy on him. Here's something we really don't see very much in the Lawrence Towing Series, and that is lap traffic, because usually a yellow flag will come out and bunch everybody up now. The leader is having to deal with lapped cars.
Yeah, you see Barton going to go a lap down, and not only that, Dickert is gone a 2nd lap down. Or no, let me get that right. He is still 1 lap down, actually, as he's right here behind John Holcomb. Shepard coming up on the back end of Dickert to put him 2 laps down. There. I'll get it right.
Get that sentence out quick, because, yeah, now he's down 2.
He's 2 laps down now.
Holcomb's going to be around next. Dickert's not racing anybody, so he can just take that car up into the high line.
Yeah, 'cause right now,
Probably not something that you actually practice. That's one thing. Oh, there you go. He put it in the wall. That's one thing that I practiced because I knew I was going to be slow when I raced in this series. Was not only racing in the fast lane, but learn to race a lane up.
well, and the one thing about it, Soup, is when you're a lap car, and I see this a lot in iRacing, and it kind of irritates me when I see it in racing. But it's like, if you're a lap car, all you got to do is hold your line and just keep going at your pace. You're ahead of Donnie Moore, not to mention your pick, Hoos, is on the back bumper of Holcomb. We got fights everywhere here.
Yeah, Hoos has come all the way from 10th now, running in 3rd, and he is working all on the back of Holcomb. 2 veterans for sure.
We might have to get a Soup pick every week.
The good news is it looks like the lap traffic is cleared, so Shepard can start putting in some hot laps.
Shepard, go ahead.
We get paid the same for GSRC whether this thing goes green all the way, right? Because
I think so.
seems like I just sat down and we're almost to the halfway point already.
We're going to have to check on that. Yeah, good question.
Look
Where's
at
our boss when we need him?
Look at Holcomb now, really trying his very best to hold off Hoos. You know,
Hey, Hoos.
I think what Hoos can do here is he can either state a premise and then give some arguments that support the premise and then draw a conclusion, or he can just use the chrome horn, because I don't think that Holcomb is going to give up that inside line without a little encouragement.
Now, in English, did you say he's going to set him up for the pass?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was just checking.
and honestly, I didn't think that Holcomb was going to. I thought maybe
He
he might
almost
have
just hit him there.
Yeah,
Wow.
there you go.
Well, who's going to get to the inside? He'll take the second spot, and need I tell you that Hoos is actually the fastest car on the track. He is the only guy in the 13-second bracket right now, which of course he fell to a 14.5 because he was passing a car.
Okay, with 47 laps in the book, let's give you the interval. 1.3 seconds for Shepard back to Hoos. We'll see what he can do. How much of his stuff did he have to use up to go through those 8 cars to get there is the question.
Yeah, it's a great question, and not to mention how much does Shepard have in the bank right now. Last time by about 2/10. We'll see as they cross the line here, as we're about to hit that halfway point already. Lap 49 in the books. A 0.91 from Shepard to a 13.9 from Hoos. So Hoos about a 10th faster that lap. Should mention, I see James Grahula in chat, Soup, and you get to have some fun coming up here after this. The special broadcast with the guys from the Premier Racing League, the Lionheart guys, and these Outlaws are going to be racing on some dirt tonight. A prelude to the Dream Race going to be happening at Eldora. We'll have that broadcast coming up for you later on this evening after this one.
A first in many aspects. It's the first time for me calling a dirt race. First time for a dirt race on the Global Sim Racing channel, so you want to tune in for that one.
Did anybody warn you, Soup, to
The clutches of John Hine. Now, I thought Moore was going somewhere. Oh, as I say that, I think
yeah, he
Hine
hit the
might
wall.
have just, yep.
hindsight of the wall?
In hindsight, that was not a good idea.
Good point. But let's see, it's, it seems like you're flipping back and forth. Hoos was faster that time by, but the lead is still about a second and a half right now as we're past halfway already. Hopefully you didn't get up to go to the refrigerator or you missed 55 laps. But Shepard is pretty much led since about lap 7. He's coming back up on the back bumper. Ryan Barton, who's running 9th. Chip Dickert's still in the Hamilton position, and I think he'll officially get that no matter what because Kurt Smith's out of the race.
Yep.
So the top 10 set already. What drama?
Here we go. We have a car being lapped right now as Shepard gets underneath the car, the 91. Oh, that's the 16 as I read it upside down of Ryan Barton.
It happens. Man, Shepard taking that spot away. We've been caution-free, I could say that right out loud, here in this race so far. Holcomb there in 3rd. I'm looking at the timer on my screen right now. This race has gone for 15 minutes, and we're at 58 laps. John Hine there in the 5th position. David Loomis, everybody pretty much single file. First battle you're going to see, which actually it's a lap car, so it's not really a battle. The closest fight I'm seeing is this John Hine, Donnie Moore battle.
Yeah, the way the track is laid out, it's kind of like the break on a pool game where how the ball spread. They are all over the table right now.
Oh, one car, David Loomis spinning on the back straightaway into Chip Dickert.
There it is.
There's your caution.
I thought they were well spaced and everyone was kind of behaved, but this happened up in front. This was Loomis. He was running in 8th at the time.
Just looked up and saw somebody spinning on the back straightaway.
And poor Chip Dickard. He's just back there. He's 3 laps down, just trying to put in some laps. Next thing he knows, he's getting into David Loomis.
Caution 1 after, 62 laps of a run. David Loomis taking his car to pit road, going to get himself a tow and a fresh car. And meanwhile, this is going to really make this interesting because we're going to have a double file restart, my friend.
Yeah, I'll tell you who did not want to see that one, and that is J.R. Shepard. He had this thing comfortable. This one was in the refrigerator. The jello was jiggling, the eggs were cooling, the butter was getting hard. This one was his, but now this is going to be a little more interesting.
This gets very interesting as you see pretty much who's left on the track right there on your screen. Shepard, Hoos, Holcomb, Moore, John Hine, Detzler, Jewell, Barton, and Chip Dickard there. The 9 cars. David Loomis, not sure if he's taking his car behind the wall, but he is off the track right now. Some 4 laps down, and if I'm Chip Dickard, get off the track if you want the pole next week. Just thinking out loud.
That's it. Yep. You know, it was interesting. Matt Hoos brought his car. In fact, he's going to do it again. I think, is he trying to convince Shepard to maybe start on the outside?
You know what's funny? I brought this up a couple seasons ago. True story here, Soup. I was like, I wonder if you would consider start on the outside. And later on that week, I get an email from Lowell, and he's like, I never even knew you could start on the outside in iRacing.
I thought they let the front row. I thought they give you the option.
Some leagues do, but apparently some haven't heard of that situation. But this is one of those leagues where they just start by the order.
Yeah, I don't think Shepard's going to want to see if that actually works here right now. I think he's very happy to have that tight inside line. Matt Hoos is sneaky though. Let's see what kind of jump. Now, I guess if he could get in there, maybe pin Shepard down low and see if he can make that outside line work.
Which could happen, especially with the hotter tires here, as we come by to complete lap 66. Pace car will pull off. But, Soup, I've been waiting for this situation to happen because I can say one of my favorite quotes to lead to your favorite quote, or one of your favorites. But, catching them's one thing, passing them's another.
Like milking a rooster, the hard part starts after you catch them.
There we go. Pace car off, back to green. And let's see if Hoos can get down there. No, Shepard clears him into turn 1 to see crossover, maybe? Shepard pulled away.
Boy, he did a nice job. The Holcomb did all he could to do the hucklebuck there, little hokey doke. Look at this bite he has. It's right off here now.
They were contact almost there a little bit. Shepard's a little loose off 2.
Don't know if he's going to get it, but I think Hoos is going to make him earn it. Hoos gets a real good bite off of 4.
Who's going to cut it to the bottom here and see if he can get another? It seems like he's better in turn 4. That's like the corner he seems to be getting Shepard on.
Yeah, Shepard seems to drift up a bit. He is right there now. He's got 31 laps to get this done.
That Lucas Oil car putting all kinds of pressure. It's a battle of oils. That quick lane car versus the Lucas Oil car. On board with Hoos. See him roll that corner. JR looks like he's better on the exit, but Hoos dimes it in there, it looks like. Here he's going to high side, going to dime it probably back to the bottom here, but no, Shepard, good corner again there.
What we can't tell is who's using up their stuff the most here. Just keep that gap.
Well, the question I was going to ask you is how much is this hurting Hoos being behind him tire-wise?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I wonder how hard Shepard is running right now. I don't think Shepard had to. Look at this bite. Here we go. Here we go.
Hoos to the bottom. Can he get Shepard? I think he got him at the line there. Nope, they gave it to Shepard.
But now I like how this is playing out for the 21 machine.
Oh, wow, was close there again, and Hoos that time at the line, barely.
4/1000, but every lap he's inching a little bit more. He's getting that. Boy, he's a little bit struggling there on that tight side.
Yeah, but the problem is every lap, too. Look who's coming up behind. Here comes Holcomb. Here comes Donnie Moore. Here comes John Hine. And Hoos clears them to the lead. Lap 75.
Welcome to the lead, Matt Hoos. From 10th to 1st.
Is Soup going to nail his pick? Is Soup going to do something that nobody's been able to do?
Oh, don't count those chickens
Not
yet.
even myself.
We've got 24 laps to go.
Plenty of time as Donnie Moore putting pressure back there on John Holcomb for 3rd. Not able to make the move.
3rd, 4th, and 5th. Holcomb, Moore, and Hine.
Well, Holcomb got loose there going into turn, or coming out at 2 there. That really shook him up a little bit, but Shepard is all over Matt Hoos.
Yeah, who's got the lead, but he wasn't able to run away with it.
Well, you wonder again how much Hoos maybe hurt his tires doing that and how much Shepard may be saving his tires.
I just cannot see who's given up that inside, although I would have said the same thing about JR.
Well, we saw this a few weeks ago. I think it was Lucas Oil Raceway, where Hoos pretty much held the high line on Shepard, Donnie Moore, everybody, and was able to win that race. And here it is again, doing the same thing, except at the bottom. Meanwhile, Hines spins off 2. Oh, and look out, here comes Tetzler with him. Oh, we
Little
got
synchronized
a parking
spins
lot
there. Yeah, that was nicely done. I'm going to give 8.0 there for form on that one.
Well done on the parallel parking as Shepard going for the lead. Oh, no, I take that back. That's Donnie Moore. And now Shepard is going for the lead.
Well, I thought for sure we would go yellow on that, but no, now he's going to have to do it on the top side.
So you're seeing the spins as we keep an eye on the leader. Shepard going to take it back, and you see Donnie Moore back there going for 3rd. Things are escalating quickly.
Shepard trying to get a nice over-under. In fact, they might have a bite off of 2, can't get it done. They were 2x2 up front for a while with Hoos and Moore running Hoos and Shepard running side by side. And then Moore and Holcomb as well.
Now, going back to that spin, how impressive was that? Tomorrow, drive to your local Walmart and try to see if you can get somebody to spin with you and park it in 2 straight parking spots. Won't happen.
That was yeah.
That was pretty impressive.
They're like pulling up in front of the subway there. 2 guys going in, spending $6, get a lunch.
Oh, who's off
That's
the pace?
Moore. Donnie Moore. Did he get a little help from Holcomb? No, I don't think so. I think Donnie got loose. Yeah, he got a little help, but Donnie was already turned way around, so Moore drops down to 4.
Tetzler coming off pit road, and once again, Matt Hoos not letting Shepard get away here. We've had battle after battle after battle.
So
they're gonna be.
While that was going on, did we miss it? I'm sorry, I was watching. Shepard got the pass made.
Yeah, Shepard made the pass when we were looking at the replay. He was back underneath Hoos, yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. I'm trying to think of a race here in the past. When's the last time we saw the lead swap like this, where one person takes it, another person takes it back? Usually it's one person takes it, he runs away, and then the other person, if he catches him, takes it and runs away. And you see the closest battle right here is Shepard, and who's getting loose? Swatting flies there in the car. It's one benefit of having white gloves. You can see the guy swatting them in there.
I think that 21 machine may have used up all she had.
8 laps to go. And just look at his hands here. Woo! Soup, he's reading his dash thing, go faster, but at the same time, I said swatting flies. You ever picture yourself when you're in a room with a bunch of flies, your hands are just flying everywhere. That's pretty much what his hands are doing in that on that wheel.
Nevertheless, pretty good strategy. Goes faster. That's
pretty simple.
Take note of that.
They always say in broadcasting, less is more. Go faster. Simple.
All right, we have a lap car to get around here with 7 to go. It looks like Hines going to get out of the way.
Yep, very classy move on his part. As we are already 6 laps to go here. We're going to be done here before 10 o'clock, potentially. When's the last time that happened? 5 to go for Shepard, looking out the tail end of the car. See that 21 trying to bear down on him. Fastest lap last time by was Matt Hoos by 1/1000. That's not going to be enough. Hoos got really loose last time, turn 1 and 2. Let's see if he's able to get off the corner pretty good there. Yeah, Shepard 0.3 faster that time, so he's really starting to stretch it out here. 3 to go. Unbelievable at the fact that we talked about J.R. Shepard struggling to win a race. It's been a few weeks here that he's not seen victory lane. He's had his issues with wrecks and unfortunately contact with people, but tonight he's looking to make it a second straight season win here at Southern.
Started 3rd, worked his way up to the lead, lost it to Matt Hoos, and then got it back as he takes the white flag.
4/10 of a mile to go as he has Brian Barden here to put up with, and Hoos is trying everything he can to get to Shepherd. Not sure if he's going to have enough time. He won in the winter season and now the spring season. Shepherd, your winner of the Outlaw 100.
Matt Hoos takes second. John Holcomb rounds out your podium.
And great runs for Holcomb. Way to put a whole race together there on his part. Donnie Moore going to get fourth. Lowell Jewell, the sick man, gets a fifth.
Last car on the lead lap. That's how you do it in the number 5 machine for Lowell Jewell.
Great job from Lowell. Well, as you see the fireworks there in the background of the speedway, waking everybody up who's gone to sleep early tonight. But we'll step away. We'll pay some bills and come back. We'll talk to the top 3, and we'll celebrate in Victory Lane with J.R. Shepherd next on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Soup and Scallad back here at the Southern National Motorsports Park. And if you just remembered that there was a bootleg race tonight you wanted to watch, it's over already, just like that. It's how quick we got around the Southern Motorsports Park. J.R. Shepherd going to victory lane after only one caution tonight field this race. We were done in like 30 minutes, literally. Shepard wins it. Matt Hoos finishing second. John Holcomb, Donnie Moore, Lowell Jewell finishing top 5, Soup.
Then in the 6th position, the first car 1 lap down, it is Brian Barden. Then a great name for a poker player, Chip Dickert, going to finish in 7th position, down 3 laps. 5 laps down is Ryan Dresler. John Hine going to finish in 9th position, 6 laps down. In the Hamilton position, it is David Loomis. How do you get that? Well, he finished 28 laps down in 10th position, but it was about 40 laps ahead of Kurt Smith, who was 71 laps down. So there you have the entire 11-car field.
Very close battle for that Hamilton position tonight, but there was also a good battle for the lead tonight. We don't get to say this often when you see one guy take the lead and then another guy takes it back from him, but tonight we saw J.R. Shepard. You had your hands full, my friend, with Mr. Hoos there. How did you get that lead back?
I had my hands full with the car itself. Really thanks to Matt Hoos for running a clean race there. He's a heck of a driver, and I really thought that once he got by me, he was going to set sail.
So tonight, yeah, it was a little bit of a smaller field, but still, you put on some great racing, and you're able to get back into victory lane, something that's kind of held you back for a few weeks.
Yeah, it definitely has. We've had a lot of a lot of technical problems, and I don't know for sure that I got them straightened out, but they definitely stayed away tonight, and it definitely helps out. But man, that car was extremely loose tonight, especially getting into the corner, and I think everybody was fighting it, but it was still a good race, I hope.
Oh, we had a blast watching Hoos and you put on that fight, because the one thing we brought up was you don't see it often in this league, especially where JR, you're leading or something, or someone's leading. Another driver goes past, but then the driver that got past comes back and gets the lead back. Usually it's when you get past, they're gone.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially in these SK Modifieds with the way the momentum is. It was just crazy tonight. My car was definitely a longer run car where I could get a rhythm and consistently run some laps. But right after that restart, it was just extremely loose getting into the corner. And I think Hoos has loosened up a little bit after that, and that's why I was able to get back by him.
Well, you did a great job tonight, JR. We appreciate your time as always, and as you can always do, send shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank Lowell and Matt for everything they do with the Bootleg Racing League, for allowing us to do this, and for Lawrence Towing and virtualgrip.net for being great partners. And yeah, we're off next week. Hope everybody has a happy Memorial Day, and we'll see you after that.
Absolutely. Mr. Shepard, appreciate your time as always, as you'll grow that point lead a little bit, as you'll have 4 more races here in 2 weeks. You'll have South Boston to get ready for, but we appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Absolutely, J.R. Shepard, your winner. Soup, we'll let you talk to your pick that I think you've already passed Sean in total points for the season.
17 laps of weight, Matt, of you making me look like a genius. I picked you for the win. Let's back up a little bit. Let's go ahead. Three stages of this interview. Let's go with your march through the field. That seemed to go pretty well.
Yeah, I've always liked this track. It's just kind of a rhythm track. You get in the groove and just try to be smooth, and it seems to work out, and that's pretty much how it went.
Okay, then let's get you for the pass for the lead that you got on Shepard there. You were trying him inside, outside. I thought you were really good coming off of 4. How did you make the pass, and did you use up a lot of your car to get it done?
Well, the problem was I used a lot of my car to get to JR.
Get there, yeah.
So once I got there, I really didn't have anything left, and so I was trying the diamonding stuff, and I was good off of 4. That was about the best shot I had, and got the nose in there, and it worked, but unfortunately couldn't hold it. Once I got in front of him with the junk tires, he was able to stay out front there and kind of save his tires throughout the race.
Yeah, you were definitely working harder than he was the first part of the race. Let's take us to where he gets alongside you. And going into 3, did you have visions of maybe closing the door on him when he was trying to get inside, or did you know that you're not going to do that there?
Well, I thought about coming down, but I've missed the last 3 weeks, and so I'm not in the points at all, so I didn't want to screw up, somebody's points race by doing something stupid, so I just stayed up and hope I could hold him off on the exit of the corner to take it back.
Well, my partner talked about it. We don't get to see it very often where we see a pass for the lead and then a pass back. So I'm sorry that you didn't get the win, but boy, you and Shepard put on a good show. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I'll take it. That was a fun race.
Matt Hoos, your second place finisher tonight.
Yeah, John Holcomb finishing in the third position tonight, the Lawrence Towing driver. Great run for you, John. You held off Donnie Moore there. You guys had a pretty good fight back there for the third position. You were pretty much consistent all night, and a great run for you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was some pretty fun racing out there tonight. I think I'm going to have to take a shower after this one. I'm pretty sweaty.
Well, I was going to say, a little warm tonight, 74 degrees inside that car. You didn't get many breaks. You only had the one caution, so you were pretty much fighting that wheel for 100 laps straight almost.
Yeah, I overdrove it a little bit early trying to keep up or run down JR, and I kind of made my right rear a little unhappy and never got it back after that.
How tough was it to drive that car in this weather with the slick track and that kind of thing, always getting loose through the corner and stuff?
Yeah, it was tough, and it's kind of weird because it was loose getting in, which is kind of odd. We're used to fighting it loose coming out, but it was loose going in, so every time you threw it into one, it kind of seemed like it was going to come around on you.
What kind of factors you think is a spoiler, something like that, and maybe makes it loose like that on the intro?
I'm not sure because it really wasn't as bad early, so I think it was just the way the tire was wearing. I think the right rear was getting a lot of drag on it, so as we got a good 20-30 laps green flag run, she started to go away.
Well, you did a great job tonight, John, representing the sponsor and getting the top 3 finish. Send your shout out to whoever you like, buddy.
I appreciate it. I want to send a shout out to Bill, Pam, and Mindy, and I want to send a shout out to Lawrence Towing and, of course, to BRL and the GSRC. Great job, everybody, and we had a great time.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time as always, John. Congratulations, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, actually.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely, John Holcomb, the Lawrence Towing car, finishing in the third position tonight. Before we go, Soup, we want to bring up this real quickly. Each and every Saturday night, these guys go racing, and of course, 2 weeks will be their next race, the Street Stocks, 7 o'clock Saturday nights, the Pro Truck Series at 8 o'clock, and of course, the series you see here, the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modifieds, 9 o'clock on Saturday night. If you're looking for details about the league, check out bootlegracingleague.com. Not to mention, we're always looking for sponsors, too, so you can check out the bootlegracingleague.com for all that. But Soup, final thoughts before we get you and Joe off to Eldora. We got you your flight's literally on the backstretch waiting for you to go.
That's right. We fly on iFlying. We like for full immersion. Joe and I will sit in very uncomfortable chairs for the next 45 minutes to simulate the flight over. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. I think the commentators liked it. I know Joe Peak, our director, liked it. The two-dimensional fans liked it. I even think the Spirit of Honey, the dancing bear, liked it as well. So it was a good show.
Oh, I'm never going to live that story down. You made an instant classic tonight, Soup, but I appreciate you filling in for Sean. Best wishes, and let me know if they have iPretzels on that flight.
Okay.
So, appreciate Soup being there, and also thanks to our title sponsor, Lawrence Towing. They service Indianapolis, Indiana, and of course, neighboring communities. Soup, you're here. Go ahead.
When you find yourself in need of a tow, Lawrence Towing is the way to go.
Fair enough. Virtual Grip Network is a blog devoted to news from the world of iRacing at virtualgrip.net. You can stay up to date on what's happening at iRacing and keep up with the top World Championship Series, including the Blanc Pond GT Series, the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series, and the World Championship Grand Prix Series. If you need details, virtualgrip.net or facebook.com/virtualgrip. Also, thanks to Bootleg Racing League for organizing the Lawrence Towing Outlaw Modified Series in contract with GSRC to broadcast it. If you need more info about the BRL, you can find them at facebook.com/Bootleg Racing League and bootlegracingleague.com. Also, thanks to the company's equipment software that you see on the screen now that we use during our broadcast. Now, the original music you heard on the broadcast, thanks to Eric Eckholm and Casey Lalonde. You can see the screen on how to contact each of them. If you need more info about all GSRC events, you can go to globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on the old Twitter at GSR Channel and facebook.com/globalsimracingchannel. We have upcoming races from other series that you can check out on the screen, including the Outlaws 2 weeks from now at South Boston. We remind you, coming up next here in just a few minutes here on the Global Sim Racing Channel, we are going to have a mixed bag between the Premier Racing League, the Lionheart IndyCar Series, and these Bootleg Outlaw Modifieds are going to be on some dirt at Eldora for a prelude to the Dream Race hosted by the Premier Racing League. Soup will be on the call with Joe Peak and others, so make sure you check that out here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. And once again, join us 2 weeks from now. We will be at South Boston Speedway for Bologna Burgers and short track racing as the 9th race of Season 2. You can catch all the action at 9:15 Eastern Time on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. For Dougie Beard, Joe Peak, Soup's on, and Of course, Sean Ambrose will be back here in 2 weeks. I'm Chris Scaller. Race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.